Hi there, in this video we'll be taking a look at something really cool from Hanboost that I honestly, until I saw it online, had no idea existed. So let me get into this box and I'll be right back with you. This will make sense in a bit. Ooh. Does this actually? Yeah, this does have a carry case. Okay, up and dropped this, which kind of tells you what it might be. Let's take a look inside of this box, which is really nice. Yeah, it's not carbon fiber, but it does look like it. Magnetic. Okay, I like that. So no clips. And this is, how do you get it out? I think this is the rubber. Okay, a little bit hard to grip, but I can just rotate the box. So this whole part is rubber for you to grip. And this is a blade, a cutting blade. And this thingy is actually an ultrasonic cutter. And you might be wondering, ultrasonic, what does that help with? Well, you will see when deburring 3D parts, you need something to help you. Otherwise it's really annoying, really time consuming, and really hard to properly do by hand. And this can help with that a lot. And not only on 3D parts, it can work on much more than that. Let's see what we have in here, and then we will take a quick look at the manual, because I never used such a tool, so I have no idea how to use it. Type-C charging, I always like when I see Type-C on devices. And in here we have replacement blades. Actually, not only blades, I think. So these are blades, but what's in this one? Oh no, still blades. What did I see? Yeah, I think I just saw the side of it. Okay, we have spare blades in both of these, so quite a few of them, which is actually perfect. Found the English part of the manual. I'm going to show it to you. So battery lasts for about 2 to 3 hours. You can work with it in more or less 20 minutes periods. Otherwise you risk overheating the ultrasonic transducer and it will shut off to protect itself. 30 watts. 30 watts of ultrasonic is quite a bit. If you know about ultrasonic cleaners, for example, the smaller ones are below that. Average ones are around this and a bit higher. So yeah, big ones are much more powerful than this. But anyway, so that's quite a bit. You can change the power from this button. From this one, you can turn on the working light, on off from this one, and here it will show you the power level, the gear. Safety instructions right here. What's in the box? So 24 blades, that's a lot. And a mini hex wrench that you can use to replace the blade itself. Again, feel free to pause at any time. Okay. Where's the mini wrench? I saw it showed something around here, but is this? Haha, this is it. Okay, that's cool. So we have the mini wrench right here, and we have also the Type-C charging, and obviously this you will use to don't cut yourself. So when changing the blade, use protective gloves, and I'm looking through the phone so I will not get into the hole from the first try. With this you untighten it, put a different blade in here and tighten it right back. Again, this is showing you this whole area is heated, can become actually heated. It's not intentional, it's an effect. And yeah, through here is where you simply charge it. But now let's pop all of this back in and let's power this tool on. So press for 2 seconds. So it has 3 power levels. I need to cut something. Let me get something to cut. I'm presuming this is already vibrating. Yeah, let me get something to cut. And 1 press to fully shut it off. We'll be playing on that, but first I just want to get a feeling of what this does and how it does it. So on number 1, whoa! Are you kidding me? So how can I show you? You just keep tension and it's basically cutting into this this thing. I'm not using nearly enough force to cut just by pressing. Let's switch to 3 and see what that gives us. Whoa, okay. Well, now I know how I'm going to cut the ends of filament. It's basically cut. Do I have a... Let me bring a normal knife to show a comparison, because otherwise this will be hard to see for you. And just as an idea, if you think this is only cutting because it gets hot, do you hear it? I want to put this back, keep it always in here so you don't lose it. And in case this looks wobbly, yeah, it has a few burrs on it, so it actually might help cleaning with this, but kind of hard to clean one end with the other. Anyway, but if it looks wobbly, because it is wobbly, it's basically held in place by a rubber. So after you put the tool back in here and you presumably charge it, because it only has about 10% charge, so I should actually charge it, but it's that good that even with this level of charge it still works perfectly. Anyway, put it back, don't lose it, and let me give you an example of how this cuts. Where did I put it? Be back in a second. Compared to one of these cutters, which has a fairly good blade on it, it's not a dull blade by any stretch of the imagination. Let me give you an example. So this thing, for example, I'm putting pressure only, I'm not moving. Yeah, you see, no cutting whatsoever. I need to start moving it and holding it fairly well in place for this to cut. When it starts, it goes, there's no issue, it's a normal cutter. But let's attempt with this. 2 seconds to power it on. Shows the charge percentage, so 10%, power level number 2. Look at this. So from any point at it, I just press it and it cuts it. I just press it, I don't move it, I press it, and I can start from the middle if I want to. It just cuts it, does not melt it. So look at it, it's not just by being hot. Being a bit warm and hot after many minutes of use, it's a secondary effect. It's not the way it works. It works just by moving this extremely fast. That's freaking cool. Let's try something else. This old worn fake leather. Does it also cut in this? Oh, it does, but let me somehow manage to actually hold this better. Do you see that? It cut pieces of it. Really hard to show. This has threads in it and it's really old and worn, but it does also cut, and it's only on speed number 2. Let's give it that 3. Let me see if I can start right here. Yeah, I can. Look at that. And let me use this fellow. So this is quite hard. You see it goes over it. If my phone could actually focus on my fingers, that would be great. So no, it's actually really hard to cut even with this thing. Look at this. So it really doesn't want to cut it, and it more or less rips it. And starting from here, yeah, good luck with that. Managed to do it in the end, but barely. So yep. Okay, let's try something else. Let's see this egg cardboard. How does this fare? Although in cardboard you are cutting basically in wood, so yeah, you can hear it. Do you see the fine particles? Do you see them? Let's try with this. Just by pressing, not moving. I'm just pressing. Yeah, there's no comparison. With this I need to move it, and good luck moving it while trying to deburr something like this. So this was particularly annoying to deburr. Just look all around. It had support on it because this kept coming off the 3D printer bed. Wow. So I actually need to be really careful because this goes really easily into the material. I'm trying to look around the phone, so I actually do a somewhat decent job at getting rid of the burr itself. Do you see that? Zero chance I could do. Yeah, of course I didn't fully cut it. I'm just showing you. Zero chance I could have done that with a normal knife, as the fact that this looks like this a few months after I made it on the 3D printer. So yep, this is a really nice and powerful tool that can be used for many things. But let me see. I actually bought a filament joiner, and I want to see if I can cut this perfectly straight to be able to use the filament joiner. It needs to have really straight edges when it joins it together. So let me just put it in here. Yeah, it's a bit further away from you, but I'm just cutting straight down. And my phone is running out of space, so sorry about that. It stopped while I was cutting. It even went into this, but I don't care. It's cutting like this absolutely perfectly. I'm just slightly pressing on it and it's a full perfect straight cut. Wow. Okay, this is a freaking nice tool. I love it. I'm going to put it to charge now because yeah, it's below 10% most likely at this point in time. And no matter what you do, always, and I mean always, keep this protection on. You don't want to cut yourself, and this will cut really easily. Hey, but just realized I can show you how this cuts without the vibration itself. So let's quickly try the same thing. And I'm pressing on it. Do you see it's bending? So the vibration, the ultrasonic vibration, is doing the cutting, not the blade. The blade is sharp, don't get me wrong, it's a new blade, but no, the vibration, really high frequency. I think it's around 40,000 hertz or something like that. Yeah, 40 kilohertz. That's doing the cutting. Pretty cool. And now from what I showed you, it's just slightly warm. So in a few minutes of use, it's just a tiny bit warm. It's not like it's heating up instantly, but it's a secondary effect from the vibrating, creating a bit of heat from that transducer. It's charging, and it shows the exact percentage, not just a charging logo or something. And it's at 100%, so now we can unplug it and use it normally. And that's about it for this video. Thank you very much, Hanboost, for sending this cutter in. It's going to be put to good use on my 3D printing endeavors, and it will continue to be seen on this channel, and it will help a lot because I had some really annoying situations. I will show you one in a moment. So yeah, daughters wanted this flexible snowman 3D printed, and of course it didn't work properly and layers got a bit stuck together. I had to literally go with a knife all the way through this spiral from bottom to the top to split it, and it was really hard. With this it would have been much easier because no pressing would have been required, just following along the line. So yeah, thanks again, Hanboost, and if anybody has any questions how this works over the years, feel free to ask in the comments, and as always, see you in the next video. Bye.